Russell, something came across your, I don't know what word to use for it. Maybe you can help me out here. Do you want to set this up
sonar?
a little bit?
Something came across my sonar?
No, think of something else. Anyway, set this up, and I'm sure it'll probably come to us.
All right. So no sooner did Marianne lose her second campaign manager in a month than Krystal did a monologue. She went after a couple of other candidates, but she threw in RFK as kind of a fake populist. Now, would she have done that monologue anyway if Marianne weren't her buddy and she weren't backing her and she hadn't staked a lot of what's left of her reputation on her? Maybe, but that's exactly why you don't do that, because you leave open that question of your credibility, because you can't say, is this on Marianne's behalf, or is this what you really think? So it kind of got on my radar.
That's it. Radar.
It got on my radar. So I felt like, they get to do these radars and these monologues dissecting the people they don't like, but nobody ever does a radar on them. So I decided maybe I should do a radar.
All right. So Russ, what's on your radar?
Well, campaign season is heating up, and the left independent media space is teeming with outsider candidates vying for attention from smaller outlets, hoping to catch fire with their very online audience of politics junkies and ex-Bernie bros. And while some hosts have done an excellent job maintaining neutrality through this onslaught, serving their audiences with interviews that are both fair and challenging, others have simply decided to latch onto a candidate in the hopes of recreating the Bernie phenomena that turned many of their obscure guy or gal in a basement channels into full-blown money-making enterprises. But if they're doing so well off the afterglow of the Bernie campaigns, why do they need a candidate? Why not just play it down the middle? Well, for a lot of these older channels, their original audiences have long since moved on, either growing tired of their personas, losing interest in politics altogether, or signing up with newer, edgier outlets that better speak to the rage they feel at a system that threw them overboard the second they tried to change it. As a result, the subscriber engagement is often abysmal, pulling in only a fraction of the overall subscribers per video. No viewers means no ad revenue, and no ad revenue means less money. So what's a host with a waning audience to do? Maybe get next to someone with their own large following from outside the scene to draw on. Enter Marianne Williamson, the LA guru with an alleged 30-year history of abusing her staff, something not one of the hosts pumping up her campaign have asked her a single question about, even as they dismiss Dr. Cornel West as a protest candidate and run hit pieces on RFK Jr.
Marianne Williamson got into the race first. She's got politics that are very similar to mine. I have 90%, maybe 95% agreement with her. So ideally, I wish there's one progressive up against Biden, and then progressives can unify behind that progressive to give us the best chance of winning, right? But if it wasn't Marianne Williamson running against Biden, well, then it would have been best case scenario, not only for Cornel West, but for the movement, if he had gotten in first, and then it was him against Biden in a Democratic primary.
Under RFK Jr., billionaires keep their social media playthings, Big Pharma continues to pillage, and at least some of the most damaging and hypocritical aspects of the American war machine march on. Like Trump, however, the right people hate RFK, and so that's enough for many to love him without troubling themselves too much with the details. Although, to be honest, a lot of his online support is from the libertarian and nationalist right, so RFK Jr.'s comfort with billionaires and corporate power won't necessarily be a problem for them.
Meanwhile, everyone from film director Mike Nichols to former U.S. Congressman Paul Hodes, who was Marianne's 2020 New Hampshire campaign chair, have reported behavior from Williams that is both bizarre and, if true, terrifying. Beyond the well-known allegations of throwing her phone at staff members and once pounding on a car door for so long that she eventually had to be taken to the emergency room, there were also accusations that Marianne fired a woman with breast cancer immediately after her surgery forcing her to fight for her health insurance for months, and telling volunteers at her charity Project Angel Food not to talk to the press before declaring, "You're fucking with my livelihood. I'm famous. I don't need this, damn it." Her behavior was reportedly so extreme and disturbing that Nichols, Stephen Sondheim, and most of the rest of the board of another AIDS charity that Marianne founded in New York went off and formed their own. But what about Oprah, who calls Williams her spiritual advisor? Well, what about her? This is someone who palled around with serial rapist Harvey Weinstein for years. And if you think she didn't know his reputation, I've got a half-assed campaign for president to sell you. Running cover for loathsome people is basically Oprah's job description inside the Hollywood ecosystem, and she's very good at what she does. So why pick this, to borrow a phrase from friend of show Nick Cruz, deeply unserious candidate, when there are so many others on offer, all with their problems to be sure, but none as absurd on the face of it as Marianne? Isn't it uncanny that so many who came to prominence partly by criticizing a Democratic Party that always seemed to be so out of touch with actual voters that it would invariably pump up the least popular candidate on offer have gotten behind someone that everyone else seems to know is a joke? Marianne may only poll 6 to 11% with registered Democrats, but she polls around 90% with left YouTube commentators, even after the departure of 2 campaign managers in the past month. So is it only to convert her cult of lost New Age souls to their shows? Or is there something else at play? I think there is. They say Washington is Hollywood for ugly people. And while you do have Brianna, Krystal, and now DueDissidence bringing the eye candy in this space, political reporters have always been impressed with celebrities. That's why until Michelle Wolf ruined the whole ugly business by calling it out as the incestuous, self-congratulatory circle jerk that it was, the White House Correspondents' Dinner looked like a high school dance where the nerds got to hang out with the cool kids for a night. Sure, it's cool meeting the president and all, but it's not like meeting Tom Cruise. The problem is, no real celebrity or Hollywood insider is going to be caught dead with these dweebs, which means Marianne is as close to Hollywood as they're going to get for right now, as they've shown to the shock and dismay of many of their fans and at the everlasting expense of their credibility. Just like the corporate media shills they claim to despise, they'll take it.
The 2024 campaign is underway, and we are looking to throw the best election night watch party ever. So please sign up at patreon.com/DueDissidence to help us buy pizza, beer, perhaps even some mozzarella sticks, and perhaps some chicken wings on top of that. Help stick it to corporate media and buy us pizza, beer, mozz sticks, wings, maybe a 2-liter soda or something like that. Thank you very much. All right, that's your radar. That's Russell's radar, everybody.
That's my radar. That's my radar. And Keaton, you know what I was really thinking when I was preparing this? See, that's what we needed going into the pitch.
Right, exactly.
What I was really thinking, the tease. We didn't get the tease in there.
Please clap.